Welcome back to News Tonight. Let's go back to that story where the continuing crisis at the NLC is looking like there is no end. For the latest on the meeting and the outcome, Shabir Ahmed, our political reporter, now joins us over the phone line. Shabir, it's been several hours since that meeting began. What's really the contention among the union workers at the moment?
Well, Evelyn, the meeting is still underway, but the contention of the workers is that they want more than 60 rupees per day as hike, but definitely the NLC management is not willing to give that much, and also that there are some kind of tough negotiations going on. And also, what we are hearing from our sources inside is that the DMK's trade union, which is a part of these talks, who had already signed an agreement with the NLC management, are there playing a spoilsport. That is what we have been told by some of the other unions. They are trying to, play a spoilsport completely there. So there is anger, there is high temperatures are running high in that particular meeting, and still the negotiations are going on, and it is going to be a tough negotiation. That is what the striking workers have told us. But at the same point of time, both the sides are hopeful that there will be some kind of breakthrough, because the Chief Minister has asked the NLC unions to, call off their strike. But definitely the unions are very firm and stubborn in that decision that till their demands are not met, they are not going to call off their strike. So the talks are continuing, where we will have to wait for some more time for the outcome, Evelyn.
Thanks very much indeed, Shabir, for joining us with that update. Well, in more news from the city, a man hired to transport diamonds in a smuggling operation was arrested in Chennai today. He had concealed the precious stones estimated to be worth more than 1 crore rupees inside his body. Salim brings you the story.
Chennai Suburban Police intercepted the 43-year-old man outside the international airport in Chennai. The operation followed a tip-off. The man of Sri Lankan origin had swallowed over 2,000 stones after packing them into condoms.
Initially denied. Later on, when we took him to hospital and took the X-ray, we found everything available in the stomach. Then he admitted the office. Later on, after the consumption of some bananas and food and some more medicines and whole thing came out. All the things have been collected. It is around 42 packets. And in 42 packets, there are 2,065 pieces of diamonds. Its value should be around something between 1.5 to 2 crore rupees approximately.
The man, identified as Safiq, confessed to police that his role was to deliver the diamonds to traders from Jaipur waiting at a hotel in the north of Chennai. He said he was not aware of the sender and he was paid 10,000 rupees for the task. The smuggler led police to the spot where he was to deliver his consignment, but no one was found. The smuggler was turned over to the investigators at the airport. In Chennai with reporter Salim, Lokpriya, NDTV Hindu.
And joining us live right now is our crime reporter Salim, who joins us with more inputs into the story. Salim, have the police really got more details from this man? What can you tell us at this point?
Evelyn, more shockingly, for those who wonder how much these smugglers are paid to traffic all the way from Sri Lanka to Chennai, they are just paid 10,000 rupees to traffic these precious stones. And on confession, he said that he didn't know who the sender was, but even he didn't know to whom he has to hand over these diamonds. All that he knew is there are some codes that are imprinted on these precious stones, and it will automatically reach a merchant who is originally from Jaipur, and he is residing in North Chennai. The police accompanied the accused to North Chennai. However, their search ended in vain. Now this criminal has been handed over to the customs official in airport.
Right, thanks very much indeed, Salim, for joining us with that. Well, the Chennai Suburban Police has got another catch today. 2 persons with 24 cartons of Pondicherry-made liquor were arrested today. On a tip-off, the Central Crime Branch had laid out a trap this morning and seized the cartons that were being smuggled in a Tata Sumo. During interrogation, the duo revealed that the liquor was being smuggled to be distributed to the hotels and resorts in Chennai. The accused were produced before a court and lodged at the Pural prison. Now, if your office space is situated along the IT corridor stretch, then that pretty picture of the roads ahead is not what awaits you any longer. Now, with the monsoon staring down your throat, it looks like it's high time authorities took note of the appalling conditions. My colleague Krishnamurthy took a walk down and says all is not well.
The roads leading to a boom in the IT sector is definitely not an easy task, and authorities in Chennai seem to have taken this term quite literally. I'm standing on one of the important roads in Taramani which leads to many IT companies, and if my camera person could just pan through behind me, as you can see, the roads have been dug up towards the sides and pipes have been strewn around. And this actually adds to the misery. As you can see, the entire road is filled with traffic, absolutely chock-a-block with vehicles. And one of the reasons also leading up to this traffic jam is because of the umpteen number of potholes. Now, this definitely adds to the traffic snarls over here. And then if you thought that it was a big problem for vehicles over here, well, it's definitely not a walk in the park for pedestrians over here. Now, as you can see, this road is filled with muck and slush, and it's really difficult for pedestrians to walk through, and they're actually stranded. As you can see, because of the traffic, they can't even walk towards the side of the road. Now, if my camera person could pan towards my right, you can see there are workers working on digging up the roads. Absolutely deplorable conditions over here. Now, apparently the EB department is working on laying in some wires, and it would take around 2 to 3 weeks to complete this. Now, this definitely adds to the misery as the monsoons are staring at us right now, and looks like the authorities are working in tandem to add to the misery of Chennai. Now, definitely some action needs to be taken as soon as possible before the rains come pouring down. In Chennai, with camera person Sagar Raj, this is Krishnamurthy for NDTV Hindu.
Well, like you saw, there was not even a single traffic policeman there, and very ironically, it were the auto rickshaw drivers who played the Good Samaritan. Well, in some more news, the Common Admission Test 2010 for admission to the prestigious Indian Institute of Management is complete. More than 2 lakh MBA aspirants all across the country took up the CAT exams this year, but that number is much less than last year's outcome. On one hand was the fear of glitches in the online format, and the other, the big problem was that the students had to leave their homes at ungodly hours to reach their centres, which were most often off the city limits in Tamil Nadu. However, authorities have ensured that there will be no repeat of last year's online exam fiasco. Now, in the wake of the ship collision that shook Mumbai city 3 months ago, the Indian Coast Guard, in coordination with the Ennore and the Chennai Port Trust, conducted a pollution response exercise today about 6 nautical miles off the Chennai port. And my colleague Salim took to the high seas along with one of those teams and sent us this report.
It's been almost 3 months now since 2 merchant ships collided just 5 miles off the coast of Mumbai. The unprecedented mid-sea disaster blocked India's busiest trade route, causing huge losses to the ports and exporters. Economically, environmentally and logistically, no doubt, it's a big calamity. In fact, after inspecting the oil spill, Environmental Minister Jairam Ramesh said, this is the biggest oil spill India has ever seen. So what if such a disaster takes place anywhere near Chennai's coastline? Well, the Indian Coast Guard say they are all set to tackle any such unprecedented disaster. What you see here is the mock drill. The Indian Coast Guard, who have formulated a national oil spill disaster contingency plan for meeting any oil spill situation that may occur within our territorial waters in the near future. The Coast Guard believe that this pollution response exercise will enhance their capability to carry out an effective response. In Chennai, with camera person Madan, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
Well, still ahead, there's plenty more news from the world of sports and more coming your way with my colleague Natasha.
Well, Evelyn, sports managers face massive inflation rates. Sports star Saina Nehwal's endorsements go up to an all-time high as a big example. Also coming up on the show in a run-up to Diwali, imagine if Martina Navratilova were to don a sari, and if Lokpriya's trial was any indication, it probably would take Martina long